I'm Robert P. Fitton, and this is a quick synopsis of the Prince William slasher, Matthias Jones series, Murder, Mayhem, and Monkey Business. Jones moves from Indiana and is back east, having agreed to coach 3 sports for Hamilton Fletcher. Matthias Jones, all his life, listened to his father recount investigations from the kitchen table of his Aunt May's farmhouse in Wabash Falls, Indiana. Little does he know, when he resides in Hamilton, New Hampshire, that there are more murders per square inch than any other location on planet Earth. Jones has the job coaching because of the aging and beloved coach Lark Larson's dismal record of 37 wins and 250 losses. Jones immediately fires Froggy Finley, the assistant coach for Lark. Froggy mentions in passing about the Prince William slasher, which Jones dismisses as hype. However, 4 women have been brutally murdered in 6 weeks. Jones tries to erase Lark's losing attitude and his use of hokey hometown nicknames, beginning with the current basketball team. Jones talks with Police Chief George Strickland about the slasher. Each murder had duct tape over the victim's mouth, as well as motorcycle involved with all these murders. They all happened on a Saturday night. Jones continues tangentially to learn what the press is now calling the Prince William slasher. He is introduced to the college trustees at a Hamilton College trustees meeting and is Google-eyed by a classy piece of eye candy, the well-dressed and retired model, Pia. It isn't just her perfume. Jones is a bit overwhelmed by the woman. During this story, Jones must deal with the antics of the irascible Arnie Doers and his goofy friend Muddy Jacobs as they track up his gym with mud from their boots. And Lester Larson, son of the former coach, is on the loose from felony charges in Ohio. Aunt May calls from Indiana. Jones's former girlfriend, the controlling Stephanie, is thinking about starting up with Jones again. You know, Stephanie, she likes to have things her way. Stephanie has hired an investigator to follow Jones. Jones then meets Mac Connor, the coach from St. Pat's, for the first time and invites him to the Colonial House restaurant. Jones will become a close friend of Mac in years to come. Pearson from the FBI begins harassing Jones and Coco. Jones is warned by Father Gallagher not to go near the nefarious and wild Club Max in Prince William. The priest calls Coco, proprietor of Club Max, to be sure that Jones behaves himself, but the night ends in tragedy. Then Jones and Coco are witness to a 5th and gruesome murder, and Jones begins the pursuit of the killer. He links the first slasher murder of a woman from Hamilton with the present-day deaths. Hamilton Fletcher's cousin, Maynard, president of the bank, was friendly with the first murder victim, Darlene Deveneaux, 2 years ago. Pia was also a close friend of Deveneaux. The slasher attempts yet another murder and begins taunting Jones by phone. In the middle of these horrid and quite dangerous circumstances, Lark Larson calls from overseas, annoying Jones, who hangs up. Then the slasher calls Jones directly and threatens him again. The slasher mentions the play in college football, which Jones is aware is a classic play in a game from 1982 where the California Golden Bears played Stanford, and Stanford won on the wackiest lateral play in college history. The slasher warns, "I will slash your throat with deadly precision." Pia and Jones begin dating, but Pia has grand designs on the Hamilton College coach. As Jones's basketball team begins winning, the killer again threatens him directly with murder. Later, identical murders in Casa de Sol, California in 1982 bother Jones. Jones thinks that Lester is not the slasher. He figures out from background information he has obtained that the murders in Casa de Sol point right at the murderer. Jones and Franny McShay are right in the crosshairs, or should I say the razor's edge, of the Prince William slasher. The Prince William slasher is available at Amazon in Kindle and paperback, and the audio is on iTunes and Audible.com. I'm Robert P. Fitton, and this has been a quick synopsis of the Prince William slasher.